All right, thanks, guys. We are coming off a 2-on-1 day yesterday in our NFL premium picks on patreon.com/Brock Page. That's going to put us at 67% our last 10 NFL plays on that website. If you want more information or you want to get all the wild card playoff picks in the NFL, link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/Brock Page. Now, we got ourselves a nice little slate of NBA action here today for this Monday. So let's go ahead and dive into it, beginning with the Miami Heat taking on the Wizards. And that's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the nation's capital. Miami is the 9.5-point favorite on the road, total at 228. Now, we haven't seen a whole lot of movement on this total. Pretty good two-way action there. But we did see a half-a-point move upward with regard to the side. So once again, Miami opened as the 9-point favorite, up to minus 9.5. Total open 228 and remains at 228. 85% of the consensus are leaning toward Miami, and right now Washington is plus 410 on the money line. Now the Wizards rank in the top 5 in scoring. I know they've struggled this year, but they haven't struggled to put up points. Once again, they rank in the top 5 in scoring, top 10 in shooting the 3-ball. Bradley Beal's averaging 28 points a game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. He's listed as questionable, so keep an eye on him. I am actually thinking that we're going to see him in action here tonight. And also Isaiah Thomas, he's back from suspension, 14 points a game, 5 assists for him. Now this Washington team ranks in the top 3 in home scoring as well, and they're in the top 5 in home offensive three-point percentage. They're averaging 118 points per contest on their home court. Now the Miami Heat on the other side, I know they've been great this year, but they failed to cover the point spread in their last 3 straight. They also rank in the bottom 10 in free throw percentage on the road, struggling from the stripe when traveling. Now 9 out of Miami's last 10 did get over the total. Meanwhile, Washington, 70% to the over in their last 10. No surprises there. I'm actually going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me Washington plus 10 after buying the hook, and the over 228 in that game. Next matchup, Hawks taking on the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Orlando. The Magic are the 12.5-point favorite in this spot here. Totals at 212 and a hook. We did see a half-a-point move toward Orlando and movement upward on the total. The Magic opened 12 up to minus 12.5. Total open 212 up to 212 and a hook. 57% are leaning Orlando. 74% shaded toward the over. And right now, Atlanta's plus 660 on the money line. Now, if you like Orlando in this spot here, really can't blame you. Just keep in mind they're 2-4 straight up in their last 6. They've also dropped 7 out of their last 10 ball games as well. They rank dead last in scoring on average per game. They're also ranking in the bottom 3 in offensive field goal percentage. Now the Magic's just 6-10 against the spread on their home court this year. They're averaging just 102 points per contest on their home court as well. They rank in the bottom 10 in offensive three-point percentage, and they rank dead last in home scoring. And if you're into, I don't want to say the playoff race, but if you're concerned about the standings, they are already 10 games back in their division. Now, Atlanta on the other side, they're not in the clear. I wouldn't say this is a stone-cold lock. I mean, Len and Parker are listed as questionable. Trae Young is out with an ankle. But John Collins is averaging 19 points a game, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. Of course, he should definitely be fresh for this Atlanta squad. And DeAndre Hunter, 13 points a game, 4 rebounds for the Hawks. Now, 3 out of Atlanta's last 6 did get over the total. They're also 13-5 to the over when traveling. Now, Orlando's 5-3 to the over in their last 8 themselves. I'm also going to take another underdog in this spot here. I'm also going to purchase the half a point, buy it up, and lean Atlanta plus 13 and the over 212.5 in that contest. Next game, Brooklyn taking on the Timberwolves, 8 o'clock Minnesota. Brooklyn's minus 2.5, total 218 and a hook. We saw a half a point move toward Brooklyn and movement upward on the total. The Nets open as the 2-point favorite, up to minus 2.5. Total open 218, up to 218 and a hook. 64% are leaning Brooklyn, 81% shaded toward the over. Right now, Minnesota's plus $1.15 on the money line. Now, Minnesota's dropped 9 out of their last 10 games. They're also just 2-12 against the spread at home. Jake Layman is out. Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns are listed as questionable. They rank in the bottom 5 in offensive field goal percentage, bottom 3 in shooting the three ball. Now, when it comes to the straight up record, Minnesota's still struggling at home. Just 3-11 straight up in Minnesota, and they rank dead last. They're actually in last place in the Northwest Division. Bottom 5 in points allowed, dead last in defensive rebounding. They're allowing 116 points per contest. Now, Brooklyn, on the other side, they've successfully covered the point spread in 3 out of their last 6. They have outright wins over the likes of Philadelphia and Denver within the past 10 games. They rank in the top 3 in offensive rebounding, top 3 in defensive field goal percentage. Spencer Dinwiddie's averaging 23 points a game, 6 assists. Joe Harris, 15 points a game, 4 rebounds. And Jared Allen, 10 rebounds a game, 12 points for him. Nice to see Jared Allen averaging double-digit rebounds. Now, this Brooklyn squad ranks in the top 10 in road scoring, top 3 in road offensive rebounding. They are scoring 111 points per contest away from home. Brooklyn 2-0 to the under in their last 2, 70% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, Minnesota's last 6 straight games all went under the total. I'm going to lean Brooklyn minus 2.5 and the under 218.5 in that contest. Next game, Bucks taking on the Bulls, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the Windy City. The Bucks are the 8-point favorite on the road, total at 219.5. But before we get into that game, I almost forgot about it. I just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the show. How rude of me not to welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Monday's NBA action. But before we dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you, once again, to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we went 2-1 yesterday in our NFL premium picks on that website. We're also hitting at 67% in our last 10 NFL picks on that site as well. We do daily premium picks on that site beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to as well. We have an NFL package if you're looking to ramp up for the playoffs for Wild Card Weekend. And that's just $11.99 per month. If you want to check out my current Patreon record, you can also do that for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below, and my record will appear right on the homepage. And once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this Bucks-Bulls game. And once again, all starts are Eastern Standard Time. All right, next matchup, Bucks taking on the Bulls. 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the Windy City. Milwaukee's -8, total 219.5. We saw a half-point fade of Milwaukee and movement downward on the total. The Bucks open 8.5 down to -8, total open 220 down to 219 and a hook. 86% are leaning Milwaukee, and at the moment Chicago's +310 on the money line. Now the Bulls are kind of banged up. We have Levine, Satoransky, Markkanen, and Carter all listed as questionable for tonight's action. Impact players there. They also rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 3 in offensive field goal percentage. Milwaukee on the other side, winners in 8 out of their last 10. They rank first in scoring, first in offensive rebounding, 13-3 straight up when traveling. Now 5 out of Milwaukee's last 6 did stay under the total. Meanwhile, Chicago's 3-1 to the under in their last 4 themselves. I'm going to lean Milwaukee -8 and the under 219.5 in that contest. Next game, Pistons taking on the Jazz, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that contest. Utah open 9, up to -10. Total open 215, up to 217. 51% are leaning Utah, 63% toward the over. Right now, Detroit is +460 on the money line. Detroit's also just 1-6 straight up in their last 7. They failed to cover the point spread in 6 out of those 7 games. Morris is out. Griffin is doubtful. They rank in the bottom 3 in offensive rebounding, bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, this Detroit squad is 12-21 overall for the year, 4-11 on the road. The ranking in the bottom 10 in scoring on the road, bottom 10 in road offensive rebounding. They've also failed to cover the point spread in 11 out of their 15 road games. They're averaging just 105 points per contest away from home. Utah on the other side, playing some very good basketball right now. 8-2 straight up in their last 10. Just want to apologize, I didn't put my phone on silent today, and the lighting's terrible. But the glasses are off, the hat's on. We're just completely flipping the script here. But anyway, Utah playing very good basketball right now. 8-2 straight up in their last 10. They rank in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage. They're 20-12 overall for the year, just 3 games back of the division lead in the Northwest Division. Donovan Mitchell, he's averaging 25 points a game, 5 rebounds. Bojan Bogdanovic, 21 points a game, 5 rebounds for him. And Rudy Gobert, he's bringing down 14 boards per contest, and he's also averaging 15 points a game and 2 blocks. Now, Utah, very good from downtown. They rank first in shooting the 3-ball. They're also top 10 in points allowed. They're very good at home. They've been good at home the past couple of seasons. This year is no exception. They're 12-3 straight up in Utah, and they're allowing just 106 points per contest. A couple more things to add real quick. They rank in the top 3 in home 3-point percentage. No surprises there. And they rank in the top 10 in home defensive rebounding. Now, 3 out of Utah's last 4 games went over the total. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Detroit 4-0 to the over in their last 4 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Give me Utah minus 10 and the over 217 in that game. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Phoenix taking on the Blazers. 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Portland. The Blazers are minus 4, total at 231. We saw a 1-point fade of Portland and movement upward on the total. The Blazers opened minus 5 down to minus 4. Total opened 230 up to 231. 68% are leaning Portland, 59% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Suns are plus 160 on the money line. Now, Frank Kaminsky is listed as questionable for Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton is out. They've dropped 8 out of their last 9 games, 3-6 against the spread in those 9. Phoenix ranks in the bottom 10 in offensive rebounding, bottom 10 in points allowed. They're 13.5 games back in the Pacific Division already. They're just 12-20 straight up overall for the year. They're also ranking in the bottom 5 in defensive field goal percentage, bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage at home. They're allowing 115 points per contest. Now, Portland on the other side, 4-3 straight up in their last 7, top 10 in scoring. Damian Lillard's averaging 27 points a game, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. CJ McCollum, 22 points a game, 4 boards, and 4 assists as well. And Hassan Whiteside, 13 boards a game, 3 blocks, 15 points on average for the big man. Portland ranks in the top 10 in shooting the 3-ball, top 10 in offensive rebounding. 4 out of their last 6 got over the number. Phoenix 4-1 at the over in their last 5. Give me Portland minus 4 at home and the over 231 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we are hitting at 67% in our last 10 NFL package plays. I like Portland minus 4 over 231, Utah minus 10 over 217, Milwaukee minus 8 under 219.5, Brooklyn minus 2.5 under 218 and a hook, Washington plus 10 over 228, and last but certainly not least, I like Atlanta plus 13 and the over 212.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Thomas Barnable, Mary Pierce, Mr. Monet, Beamer Ball 4420, Crazy Zooter, Anthony Owusu. Shout out to Aunt Rod. Good to see you in the comments section. My good friend Aunt Rod. Shout out to Mount Shanko, Stephen Lewis, Danny J. Always good to see Danny J. And last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Sean O'Neill. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our quick pick recap. Or I'm sorry, I already did that. Let's go ahead and dive into our Spanish edition, also known as Edición en Español. Yo tengo Portland menos 4 y las altas, Utah menos 10 y las altas, Milwaukee menos 8 y los bajos, Brooklyn menos 2.5 y los bajos, Washington con puntos y las altas, y final Atlanta con puntos y las altas. I think that's it. Yeah, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon, but most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into